Hi guys, I'm going to take you on my journey, how things happen for me. I have to say that I used to be one of those people that could eat and drink whatever I thought and whatever I wanted. I could even mix the drinks on a night out. I would not have a hangover the next day or be sick or have any sorts of problems. And then absolutely everything went. First of all, welcome to my channel, and I do invite you to subscribe by clicking that small button next to my name. And if you find this information useful, please do share me. Thank you. Click, like a switch, and my life was turned upside down. Now, this happened in 2019, and it was probably after a long period of very stressful situations. Throughout my life, I did have occasional days when I would just not feel okay, but very, very rarely, and I didn't know what they were. I have to say that for a long time, I was not eating 3 meals a day, and I was not eating what the nutritionist would recommend. And in doing so, what I did not know is that it seems that I somehow changed my microbiome because I did not feed it. And for a long time, you don't see the symptoms of that. It takes a while for the microbiome to start altering itself and get to the side effects. So in 2019, I started having crippling pains that I could not justify. They would be out of the blue whilst I would still eat the things that I would normally eat, and they were so crippling that I would not be able to walk from the bed to the desk. And I didn't know what it was. Bloatiness and gases and burping would come with it. Brain fogs, a lot of brain fogs. I would be having days when I couldn't focus at all, and I would start relying on caffeine to to try and get myself up to speed. The fatigue was absolutely incredible. I used to put it down to the lack of sleep, but then I realized it was not that. It was actually my body already starting to have enough with the stress and the low quality food that I was eating, even if in my mind I was not eating unhealthy. But in Western societies, unfortunately, you have a sandwich and you're thinking it's just a sandwich, for God's sake. And sadly, when you look at the ingredients, oh my God. Or you have some roasted ham and you're thinking it's just roasted ham. But then you learn to look at the ingredients and you realize, oh my God. So, step number one, if you ever get to a situation like this, or you know someone that has these problems, is to talk to your GP, because you do want to rule out any serious medical ailments. And the GPs that I've worked with and the consultants that I've worked with, eventually, after a long time, did a lot of blood tests. So they checked my iron, my liver profile, my kidney profile. Then I was referred to a gastroenterologist. I had a private insurance at the time. So with the private insurance, I had endoscopy, colonoscopy. I had a stool test for calprotectin, which is a marker, B12, and tests for cancer and polyps checked. All the results came back fine, except for a very low vitamin D. I was taking double X at a time, but I was taking double X one and off, forgetting to take it every day. And double X doesn't have such a high content of vitamin D. So that, was not enough for my body and everything my body was going through. So low vitamin D did show on the results. Other than that, it also showed an infection with H. pylori. Now, the interesting thing with H. pylori is that it can cause a lot of imbalances in the body. There's still contradictory information if it's a good bacteria or a bad bacteria. I mean, they do say it's a bad bacteria, but it also seems to have some positive effects in your body. I am grateful that it was discovered, because later on I realized that my gums were inflamed and I didn't know why. And it seems that as soon as I followed the treatment to eradicate the H. pylori, my gums inflammation also went. So if you do get the treatment, if you do get the symptoms that I had, step number one is to talk to your GP so that you can go through all the tests that I went through, so that they can come back to you clear. Unfortunately, after all those tests, the only solution the gastroenterologist had at the time was to refer me for a FODMAP with a dietitian. And I have to say, FODMAP was it was interesting, but it wasn't the answer to my challenges. As it puzzled the dietitian that there were so many things on the FODMAP that I could have and things in the FODMAP that I could not have. So that was obvious that it's not really the answer to my problems. The way FODMAP works is that you basically eliminate all those foods included in the Monash University report, and then you start introducing them in small quantities with the help of a dietitian to try to not imbalance your body too much, because restrictive diets can affect other aspects in your body, from the nutrients part to the microbiome part, and then have like a snowball effect. So step number one is to go to your GP to rule out any of these issues.